let's talk about step 4. We got this, we're up to here now, and we've gotten these 3 in place. We're thinking right, and we're changing our words, and we're changing our actions, and we're implementing what we're learning. How habits come into this?
This is where it becomes very exciting. Depending on the individual, and by that I mean we're all a little bit different, give or take a few days, everybody has the capacity to convert productive actions into habitual behavior if they do it long enough. So what I say to people is, it was tough pushing the boulder up the teeter-totter from just thinking about wealth to actually taking action. When you acted long enough for the teeter-totter to level out, as you just demonstrated, and you're in the fulcrum position, you are just a fraction of a distance from what becomes habitual activity. And this is what this guy said 2,500 years ago. He said, people have got it all wrong. Anybody can achieve attainment regardless of their objectives if they act long enough for those actions to become habitual behavior.
Right.
So, for example, I found after about 90 days, when I first got into this business, if I didn't hand out 20 cassettes in a day, I was failing. Now, there are people who say, oh my God, Yarnell, how'd you do that? Well, I was just ignorance on fire. My upline told me, okay, you want to get to the big money? And he was making $100,000 a month at the time. He said, you want to get to the big money? You're going to have to approach 20 to 30 people a day. I can't tell you, Eric, how tough that was especially the first week. Got a little easier the second and the third. By the end of the third month, not only was it easy, but if I didn't engage in that 3 hours of handing out cassettes every day, I actually felt like my day was incomplete. And that's because the actions became habitual.
Let me ask you one thing. And this is a little bit of a side note. Do you think network marketing's gotten a little bit soft? Do you think that we've dumbed it down so much and we've pampered people so much that we don't even talk about handing out 20 of any or doing 20 of anything in a month, let alone a day? Do you think, just as a general observation across the spectrum of things, do you think maybe we have?
I think the danger is to isolate a particular sector like network marketing and assume that we're somehow different from everybody else. I think we have softened, as has the entire nation. I mean, statistically speaking, if you read all of the analysis of the National Education Association, based on legitimate test results, in just the last 15 years, we've gone from number 6 in math scores among high school seniors to number 25. So I think it's safe to say that there's been kind of a backslide in capitalism, particularly in North America, when it comes to productivity. Now, I'm not going to blame anybody. That's not what's important. What's important is, as in the rest of culture, so too is network marketing.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to figure out a way to maximize their potential through connectivity.
Right.
Well, people say, Yarnell, you're a Luddite. You don't even have a cell phone. No, I'm not a Luddite. I just don't want to spend my day tethered to a wireless feed drip of irrelevant minutia. I mean, if I were on a kidney transplant list and I was expecting a call, yeah, I'd have a cell phone. But I don't need
the reason why I ask you that is it just that I'm torn, because I love technology. I love the fact that I can sit on the other side of the world and we can do this and we can deliver it to people and it can help, tens of thousands of people will watch this. Probably close to 100,000 people will end up watching this interview. That's a cool thing. And the fact that we can connect with people and all that stuff. But I think the seduction of technology is softening our disciplines. It's softening our habits, and we're thinking that technology is going to replace the habits that are necessary of us facing our fears and developing some new skills. Because, somebody will come up with an app for that, I mean, There's an app. You need to do this. Oh, don't worry about it. There's an app. You can push this button and it'll take care of it. Right. I don't know if that's going to get us all the way there. The people who are selling the apps are going to do well, but I'm talking out loud as I say this because I'm a big fan of the best habit quote that I know is Ogmandino's. I will form new habits and I will become their slaves. I'm going to be habit of something, good things or bad things. I'm going to choose which habits are going to be the ones that most identify me. So what you're saying is that you got to stay long enough with the actions to turn them into habits, and also be aware when you start losing the habit. Because, like for me, when I work out, I could be doing great for 90 days or 6 months or whatever, but then I take one cruise, and it's over, man. And all of a sudden, 3-4 months have gone by, and I lost the habit again. So you got to have a mechanism to remind you of the habits and keep that in place. But I don't know if you have any additional comments on the technology and kind of what's happened, because I do like the hard work, and I do think it's a face-to-face business, and I do think that we're being seduced a little bit by technology in saying that it's going to do all the work for us. It can be a tool. I'm not sure where it all falls in the long term of things as we continue to be more and more connected, but I don't know. I still haven't come to a conclusion.
Well, I think the way you're handling it is perfect. I talked to a guy who wrote The Will to Technology, a PhD from the University of Victoria, and I said, what do you think is the key to all this? Should we be involved in all this all the time? He said, well, the key is to use the technology to send the message to as many people as possible that productive effort is important. And I think that's what you're doing. You wouldn't have me on here saying these things if you weren't vitally interested in your audience recognizing the importance of effort. Yeah. That's what I teach, and you know that, and that's why you invited me. So what I would say is, I love technology. I've got a flight simulator. I can fly an F-14 onto an aircraft carrier, a big screen TV. I've got a drum set, electric drum set. I've got the nano. I've actually got Speak Naturally, so I can dictate stuff and a big screen TV. I love technology,
but no cell phone. I don't know how you deal with no cell phone, but
I don't want to be tracked.
I can respect it. It's kind of cool. It's super old school. I like it. Yeah, Randy Gage has a cell phone, but you can almost never get him on it. He never turns it on. He only turns it on when he wants to make a call. He never has it on, so you can call him on it.
Right.
And that's pretty cool.
Hey, listen, one funny thing.
I'm not that. I have my iPhone right here, and I'm ready.
Yeah, but you're also telling people, drop the technology. Watch our interviews, but you're bringing on people who are teaching people how to take action. They're not selling.
I'm not bringing on people who agree with what I agree with. I'm bringing them on if they made over $1 million a year in commissions. If they did that, they're the real deal, and I want to know what they know, and I want to pass it on. That's it.